Luna. Luna. Come on, back inside. Luna. Everybody, what's up? It's Mads. It's been way too long. I'm finally back. Today I'm going to be doing my very first book outlet haul, but also my very first book haul. I have filmed book hauls in the past. I think I've filmed 2, and like they got to the editing phase and I just sort of dropped it. It's basically what's happened to everything that I filmed in the last, like, I want to say 6 or 7 months. If you don't know what Book Outlet is, it is a website that has a bunch of really cheap brand new books, like hardcovers, they're really nice copies, and I've purchased like 1 or 2 books from them before, but this is the first time I've ever done a haul of their books. Luna! This is the first time I've ever just went ham. I had just gotten paid and I was like, heck, you know what, I'm gonna go on Book Outlet and I'm going to do a Book Outlet haul, and I had a great time doing it and the package just arrived. I'm really excited. So this was kind of a rambly intro. I'm just gonna go ahead and jump on into it. I'm just gonna preface this by saying if you hear any weird crinkling in the background, it's because I have a very young cat and she thinks the paper that came in the box is so cool. So that's what that is. Now let's get started. So the first book that I got is one that came out a couple of years ago. It used to have a freaking ton of hype on BookTube. I just didn't grab it when all of the hype was getting passed around, and I found it, and I remember that the premise looked really cool, and I think it got pretty good reviews, and I wanted to pick it up, and that was Starflight by Melissa Landers. I don't actually know that much about this book. I don't remember seeing a lot of summaries of it. I know it got pretty good reviews, but it's about space pirates, and I'm very into piracy, and I'm not like in real life, but I like reading about pirates, and I'm really into space, and I thought that this looked super cool, and I found it in the paperback edition on Book Outlet, and I couldn't resist. I think this was like a last minute impulse buy, but I think it'll be fun. The next book that I got is one that I've been eyeing at Barnes & Noble for the absolute longest time, and I finally caved into the impulse, and that is Dreamology by Lucy Keating. This is a book about a girl who keeps dreaming about this boy that she's invented. He's just sort of a character, a figment of her imagination, and one day I think he walks into her school and she has to sort that out. I think it looks really cool, it looks beautiful, and I've heard really good reviews of it, and so I'm excited to get to it myself. Quick pause to look at my cat who got in the box. Hi! Luna! What you doing? I'm not really sure what she's doing actually. The next book that I picked up is a sort of historical fiction mystery thriller novel, and that is The Shallow Graves by Jennifer Donnelly. This is about a wealthy heiress who's about to finishing school, and she's going to have to go marry some guy, and she doesn't want to. She wants to be a newspaper writer, a trailblazer. I think this is set in the 20s or 30s, sometime around that time range when journalism was really taking off in our country. As a former journalism major, as somebody who was the editor-in-chief of my high school publication, journalism is something that's really special to me. I had to learn the history of it for a while, and so I just think it's really exciting. This sounds right up my alley, and I've heard literally nothing but good things. Like, I watched a bunch of YouTube videos where people just raved about this book, and so I'm excited to get to it myself. Really, really excited for this one. Next book is one that I've actually been dying to get to for a long time. I've heard good things about it. I thought the premise looked awesome, and that is The Valiant by Leslie Livingston. This is about a girl who is forced into gladiator fighting after her family, their tribe falls to, I believe, Julius Caesar? That can't be right. No, that's Julius Caesar. Okay. And she has to fight for her life in the gladiator ring. I thought this looked so cool. This premise seems to be really, really unique and interesting. This is a time period that young adult literature doesn't really explore as much as I would kind of be interested to see it do. So I'm pumped to get to this one. My best friend absolutely loved it. The next one is wrapped in plastic for some reason, and that is Unite Me by Tahira Mafi. This is a collection of Shatter Me novellas. I think there's 2 in here. Fracture Me and Destroy Me. Yeah, Fracture Me and Destroy Me. One takes place from Adam's point of view, one takes place from Warner's point of view, from the Shatter Me trilogy. I really liked that trilogy. I really like Warner, and I've heard that his novella was supposed to be absolutely fantastic. So when I found this one, I was very excited. I couldn't wait to grab it. I actually wanted to get it a long time ago, and oh my god. I wanted to get it a long time ago and it was out of stock, so I was so excited to see that it was back in stock. This is what started the whole book outlet haul in the first place. I was like, no, I can't. I have to get it. The next 2 are kind of a little bit personal, I guess. They are not books that I'm receiving for the first time, though I hadn't read either of these 2 specifically. But these are books that I'm replacing that I lost in Hurricane Harvey in the flood. I'm from Texas, I'm from Houston, so my family was affected by it, and I lost several of my books, and I've slowly been acquiring them back over time, and so I found these 2 for really good prices, brand new, and I couldn't resist. I just had to go ahead and pick them up, and I'm actually almost done replacing most of the books that I lost. I'm just missing a lot of the Percy Jackson books, so I'm really excited about it. The first one of these is Black Widow Forever Read by Margaret Stoll. I've actually heard that this was supposed to be a really good Black Widow short story. I wanted to get into Black Widow's comics, but I've heard really mixed reviews on the biggest line that's been released recently. It's either really, really popular or like very mediocre, and people are kind of erring on the side of not liking it. So I've been kind of iffy on starting it, but I was really pumped about this book. I hadn't gotten to it when I first bought it. I had it in hardcover not long after it came out, and when I found it, I decided to go ahead and pick it back up because I actually have heard some good reviews about this. There was a lot of hype for it before it was released on BookTube, and then nobody like updated with like reviews of it or anything, so I don't know, maybe I could go dig a little bit more and try to find some, but I have heard for the most part pretty good reviews. I've heard this is supposed to have a really good like female dynamic. There's like Black Widow, and then she takes on a mentor sort of thing, like a mentee sort of relationship. Luna, calm down. I don't know what she's doing, but I've heard this is supposed to be really good, and so I decided to go ahead and buy it again. The other book that I got as a flood replacement is The Rose and the Dagger by Renee Audier. I wanted to marathon this duology. I was planning on marathoning it in like September, October. For whatever reason, it was really like close up on my TBR, and then I lost the series. I was able to replace The Wrath and the Dawn a few months ago, and now that I have this one, I think I'm going to do a marathon in the near future because I have been dying to get to these for so long. And the last book is one that I actually own on audio. It was one of my favorite books of last year, but I wanted to get a physical copy and I found it for a really good price, and that is Unfiltered by Lily Collins. Lily Collins is one of my favorite actresses, if not like my favorite actress. She's the only one whose life I like actively follow in any sort of capacity, and she wrote this collection of memoirs about her eating disorder, about growing up, about relationships that have been really toxic, and I listened to the audiobook, which is narrated by her, as I was driving back up to college this year, and it really helped me contextualize and sort through a lot of things that I had been struggling with. I have a lot of very weirdly similar situations that have arisen in my life, and so listening to her talk about them and just go through them was really beneficial for me, and it helped me sort through and contextualize things that I had gone through or things that I was dealing with. And I wanted a physical copy, not only just to have one, but that I could refer back to and read selections from at will. It's kind of difficult to do that when you have an audiobook. You have to figure out like where the chapter is, and they don't all come with PDFs, and so I decided to just pick it up in a physical copy. I'm so excited. I absolutely loved this memoir, and if you haven't read it, I really recommend picking it up. So those are all the books that I got on my very first book outlet haul. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm excited to finally be making this kind of video. I haven't filmed and edited and posted a book haul yet, so like, fingers crossed. I hope this one gets out there. Really excited. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!